The Four Nations are returning in a big way. In 2020, the original creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender announced the creation of their very own production company called Avatar Studios. The creative duo known as Bright promised brand new Avatar content, including theatrical movies, animated shows, books, new characters, old ones, whatever they wanted. Anything was possible. Last year, Bryan Konietzko even teased that what they're working on could span the next 20 years, bringing about a full-scale renaissance for the Avatar franchise. Today, I can announce via an Avatar news leak that the first of Avatar Studios' new projects currently in development are two theatrical animated movies. One is an unspecified prequel story, and the other will focus on Fire Lord Zuko. Oh yeah, baby, it's happening. The exact time period of the prequel movie is currently unknown, just that it takes place before the events of the original animated show. I doubt it will take place in Avatar Roku's era, since the Zuko movies were already focused so heavily on the Fire Nation. There would just be too much overlap, I think. The same would be true for the other firebending avatar Seto, alongside the fact that he's kinda boring. Avatars Karuk or Yangchen are both solid options. Their stories have been expanded in various canon novels, so they'd have a solid foundation to build on. But enough beating around the bush, we all already know what we really want: Avatar Kyoshi. It just makes too much sense. She's one of the most popular and recognizable characters in the franchise. She just had two novels dedicated to her origin story, so now she is way more lore than any other past life. And those novels, by the way, were so successful that they're both New York Times bestsellers, and they prompted the launch of an entire book series dedicated to the past avatars. So clearly, if you're trying to launch a new series, Kyoshi's your girl. We've also yet to follow the story of an Earth avatar on the big screen. Look, if the goal of Avatar Studios is to earn some goodwill and attract both new and old fans back into the franchise, a Kyoshi prequel is the most straightforward way they could pull it off. But that's all my own speculation. Now on to Zuko's new movie, which will also require a lot of speculation because all that's confirmed is that Zuko will indeed have a new movie. But this announcement is still super exciting because now we know that Avatar Studios isn't afraid to just leave the avatar behind. Obviously, the active avatar of the era will play a significant role in the story no matter who the protagonist technically is. But now we can hold out hope that some of our favorite side characters could be the center of future projects. Like, imagine seeing a depiction of Iroh's siege on Ba Sing Se, or a Red Lotus origin story, or maybe just a National Geographic style documentary about our favorite hybrid animals. Who knows what Bright is cooking up in there. But again, we don't know exactly how old Zuko will be in this animated feature, although I think it's safe to assume that the story will take place sometime between the events of Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. The movie could be an adaptation of the Search comic and show the events of Zuko finding his lost mother. After all, Bright did initially pitch that idea back in 2012. But I don't really think that's what they're gonna go for, since that story is now over a decade old. Sure, it would still be new for a lot of more casual fans, and it would also put a nice bow tie on the final mystery of the original show. But I think to get the big splash they want to have right now, Avatar Studios needs to show us something that we have never seen before, like the gang at their prime. This unequivocally has been the most requested thing by fans since the show ended in 2008. Any story featuring a young adult Zuko would have to include the rest of the gang as very important and very powerful side characters. We've never once had a full story about a fully realized avatar operating at their physical peak. Not in any show, comic, or book besides some very brief glimpses. Like when we got to see Roku fighting Sozin and it was awesome, or Kyoshi fighting Chen the Conqueror and it was awesome, or Aang fighting Yakone and it was awesome. You guys get the point. Maybe an adult Zuko story could also feature Zula and finally give her a redemption arc at the age of 25, 10 years after she lost everything. All I know is that fans would eat it up, and if executed well, it would guarantee a massive subscription boost to the Paramount Plus streaming service, which is what bringing Avatar back is all about in the first place. Remember that these projects were confirmed through leaks and probably won't be ready for at least a few years. I'm thinking 2024 at the earliest. But don't despair just yet, because Avatar News also teased that they have secret information about a brand new animated show, so subscribe to stay up to date about all things Avatar. And with all that in mind, get hyped because there will now be a movie in Ba Sing Se, 2 of them in fact, and no one will ever need to visit Lake Laogai again.